Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is HD and I'm back for another HD Pro Game broadcast. I have been somewhat sick the last couple of days, so I haven't really been able to play that many games on ladder. So I am going to be casting some pro games here, and this is the top rated replay of the week. It is with Dimaga versus AnotherDay, and this is, I believe, in the IEM, or it may be just an exhibition matchup on Battle.net. But either way, this is the top rated replay of the week, and surprise, surprise, it is going to be a Zerg versus Zerg, which I had my head scratching when I saw this. Top rated replay of the week, but it's a ZVZ. Hopefully it's going to be pretty interesting. It is going to be on Lost Temple, in fact, and both players have actually spawned in the cross positions, and we actually, look at this, that's actually very nice. Dimaga not actually going all the way to scout over here, because usually in a Zerg versus Zerg, you know, if the Zerg player did scout here, then the Overlords would have crossed already. So Dimaga just being a little extra smart, and he's going to get a little bit extra scouting time with that Overlord, moving it away a little bit earlier. And so, yeah, every game I've ever seen with Dimaga always been very interesting. He's obviously one of the highest rated Zerg players in Europe. AnotherDay, I believe, is also a very good Zerg himself. I haven't seen too many games of him before, but I'm definitely looking forward to this game. I think both players here are going to opt to go for early hatchery here, and it looks like it might be even a 15 hatch for both players. As you guys can see, yeah, it is going to be 15 hatch. AnotherDay pulling his drone off, and Dimaga following just a little bit later with his drone. Oh, what's his drone doing? What's his drone doing? The drone is actually, okay, that's very nice, hiding the drone so that AnotherDay's drone would not be able to block the hatchery. So that's a little bit of a small maneuver that really makes it guaranteed that Dimaga is going to be able to get that hatchery down and not have the drone block that. And obviously, if you guys play Zerg, you know how annoying it is when your hatchery gets blocked by a drone, a probe, or an SCV. It really messes up your build. And so Dimaga just being that little extra cautious, that little extra move, every little bit really counts. We can see now both players going for their spawning pool, and everything is looking super standard at this point. I'm really interested to see how this game unfolds. So as I said before, top rated replay. I'm hoping to see some hopefully a long-term macro game Zerg, macro Zerg versus Zerg. Not too often. Oftentimes ZVZ ends pretty quickly, as do all mirror matchups, except I suppose Terran versus Terran. But I think that this match, and especially with these cross-spawn positions, I think it's going to be a pretty intense game indeed. We have AnotherDay now actually getting a couple drones maynarding over to his hatchery, which has now just plopped out. We should also see Dimaga's hatchery coming up just a few seconds later. Do note Dimaga getting gas down first. He has the extractor, but he hasn't actually started to, there we go, he's starting to mine the gas right now, and he does have a roach horn coming out. So Dimaga opting to go for roaches, whereas AnotherDay is not going for roach horn yet. That's very interesting. Usually when a Zerg player goes for fast expo, they will go for roaches, but AnotherDay here not getting roaches yet. He's actually getting a very late gas. He should have a little bit stronger economy because of this. Because he didn't go for the gas, because he didn't go for the roach horn, he should have a couple more drones, and we should see Dimaga try to take advantage of that. In fact, if I was in Dimaga's shoes, that's exactly what I would do. I would take advantage of that, go for more roaches, and try to bust down the front a little bit earlier in front of AnotherDay's natural expansion. Now it looks like AnotherDay finally getting his roach horn out. Both players just building up their economy, building up their macro. The second geyser now going down for AnotherDay, so we may see a quick tech to layer. And a lot of times in ZVZ, one of the most powerful builds is to go for quick burrowed roaches and then just sneak on right by into the Zerg main. In fact, that's a really, really deadly opening. And if the Zerg player doesn't have an overseer in time, it's almost as deadly as Dark Templars. So that's one little sneaky strategy that AnotherDay could possibly use. And we'll see exactly what happens in this game. Here we go. It looks like Dimaga pulling a queen all the way off the creep. He really wants to get that overlord. Remember that a queen and an overlord, once a queen is off the creep, they actually have the same movement speed. I believe the same. Maybe the queen has just a tad faster. And that does allow queens, if you want to sacrifice spawning larvae, you can pick off an overlord. It's kind of situational. Also do note that at the center of the map we have a lot of overlords being placed around. As you guys can see, overlords all over the center. This is going to provide that crucial scout that each Zerg player needs in order to know, they need to know what the other Zerg player is fielding on the map and what kind of upgrades and what kind of units they're bringing out. So it's very smart to get those overlords out across the center. Now it looks like AnotherDay is also going for Evo Chamber, so I believe he may actually decide to go for upgrades this game and try to get +1/+1, maybe just +1 weapons though, because he's only got one Evo Chamber, and then he's going to try to make some kind of a timing attack. I guess it's not going to be burrowed roaches, but we'll soon see, because do note he has a lot on gas right now. Here comes the second Evo Chamber, so I'm inclined to believe that AnotherDay here is going to try to go for upgrades rather than brute force. He's going to try to go for mass upgrades. Note he's actually got a third Vespine gas. So yeah, I do believe AnotherDay is going to try to just out-upgrade his opponent, whereas MTW Dimaga is going to... he's also getting 2 Evo Chambers. So we're basically seeing the same exact build from both these players. Both players have dead even economy, 46-46. I believe both players are getting pretty much the same types of upgrades. As you guys can see, Roach Speed, Carapace, and Melee should start ticking away for Dimaga fairly soon. AnotherDay now bringing his Overseer just to make sure that nothing fishy is going on. And one strategy, one thing that I've actually noticed in ZVZ nowadays is you can use an Overseer to go in and contaminate the buildings. You can bring the Overseer in, contaminate the hatchery, and what that actually does is it prevents larvae from spawning out. And if the queen has spawn larva on the hatchery, it actually completely negates the spawn larva spell. So contaminate from Overseers is a kind of a high level play in ZVZ, but it's something that a lot of Zerg players have been using lately, and it's actually really strong. Now it looks like both players are going to go for their they're gonna go for the gold hatchery now. So really super macro mode. We're gonna go ahead and switch over to Dimaga's point of view camera mode, and we can see that he's also using that contaminate like I was talking about, completely negating the spawn larva spell and completely preventing all of the larvae from spawning out of the hatchery. So very powerful, very high level advanced Zerg play there using that Overseer. He's actually got a couple, he's actually just got only one Overseer right now. We're gonna go ahead and switch over to AnotherDay's point of view now. As you guys can see, he just got Carapace done. His Melee is on the way, and Dimaga's on the upgrade tab. He's getting Carapace and Melee as well. His missile is actually going to finish first. Not Melee, excuse me. And both players now starting to move into that mid game. Both players are now just posturing their armies at the center of the map. They both have those Naga watchtowers, and both of them are moving their forces forward. They need to move out to this location so that they can protect both the gold hatchery as well as the natural expansion. And of course, at the same time, both players have an Overseer over each other's armies. This is to know exactly what kind of upgrades they have, how many roaches they're dealing with, and it's just in general very good scouting. It's a good play by both players to have Overseers over their army. I would like to see Dimaga and maybe even AnotherDay spawn out a couple more Overseers. Like I said, use that contamination ability on the hatcheries. It's very smart. And we'll see exactly what happens. It looks like AnotherDay here is going for Hydralisk Den as well. This is pretty much standard, switching over to Hydras around the mid game. Hydras do a little bit more DPS than Roaches do, and they can back up a mass Roach on Roach battle very well. Dimaga here. Let's go ahead and take a look at how many roaches each player has. We can see Dimaga has 44 roaches, whereas AnotherDay only has 34. So AnotherDay has 10 less roaches, but AnotherDay has +1/+1, whereas Dimaga, oh, there you go, just finished +1/+1 himself. So I think right now Dimaga is really, he's got a pretty sizable advantage on the field. And once again, using that contamination ability from the Overseers by Dimaga is preventing all that larva from spawning. That may be actually what's allowing Dimaga to spring forward in this game. Besides the fact that Dimaga may just have better macro, better all-out strategy, better execution of the game in general. He's been using these Overseers, whereas AnotherDay has not been using them. And that's actually, I think that's what's really been allowed. That's what allows Dimaga to spring forward. He has a couple more roaches. He's got a somewhat larger army on the field. And I think both players now, they're just going to build up their armies, and eventually we're going to see that one massive battle against both these players, and we're going to figure out exactly who comes out ahead. Both of them just chilling right now, just waiting. So let's go ahead and take a look over at AnotherDay's main base. He does have Infestation Pit going down. Usually going for infestors if your opponent is going for mass roach, mass hydra, not exactly the best idea. Infestors are better against mass ling, mass muta, but I think that infestation pit primarily just so AnotherDay can go up to hive technology, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Dimaga also going. Yeah, we have the infestation pit going down over here as well as upgrades for both players. So both players really teching up that upgrades, trying to build up their army. Looks like the Overseer finally gets picked off by Dimaga. And it looks like Dimaga has finally maxed out his army. He is now at 200. AnotherDay also at 200. And this is the moment we have been waiting for. 15 minutes into the game, we're finally going to see some action. Looks like Dimaga going to engage a very massive battle. Both armies have +2/+2. I think AnotherDay might have a better, more Hydras here, and the Hydras really going to make the difference because they do so much more damage than Roaches do. Dimaga here may be in a lot of trouble. I don't know if this was a good attack at all. He didn't have enough Hydras, and wow. Also remember that AnotherDay had the creep bonus, and that allowed his units to get a little bit more speed bonus to move forward after they had killed off their target. And I think that Dimaga right there just made a huge costly mistake. And this very well could just be the game. If we look at the army tabs, we can see that both players taking huge blows to their army count. Dimaga now is a little bit below. He has to rebuild. Remember that AnotherDay has 2 hatcheries towards the north, so Dimaga is running out of time. In fact, if Dimaga does not do something soon, he is going to get out macroed by AnotherDay. And this entire time I thought Dimaga was the one who was ahead, but that just goes to show that one small misattack, one small battle can really cost you the game. Dimaga knows he's in a dire situation right now. I did see a Spire going up for one of these players, so I do believe one of these players is going for Spire. Oh, look at that. AnotherDay going for Greater Spire, so he's going to bring out some Broodlords, and this almost never happens in ZVZ because Roach Hydra is so powerful that if a Zerg player is able to tech up and bring out Broodlords out of the blue, it almost spells certain defeat and certain victory for the player who has the Broodlords and certain defeat for the player who doesn't. So right now, Dimaga needs to make something happen. Looks like a random infestor coming out here, gets one fungal growth off. Doesn't really make a difference. I think that Dimaga here is pretty much in a very bad situation. He has 60 drones, under 75, but the drone count really isn't what makes a difference right now. What makes a difference is the fact that AnotherDay has 2 hatcheries over here, and the main thing is the gas. The Vespene gas is going to be the crucial factor in this matchup. In fact, I'm surprised AnotherDay didn't get additional geysers already over there. I would like to see him transfer some more of the workers from the Gold Expo, in fact, over to mine more gas, because right now, if AnotherDay indeed is going for Broodlords, he needs a lot. And I mean a lot of Vespene gas. And you guys can see right now 3 Corruptors on the way. So we're gonna have potentially 3 Broodlords in the game, and that might be all that AnotherDay needs to seal this victory, to take this win. Dimaga right now, he's at 199 at 200 as well. He does not have Hive technology, so he cannot get the all-important +3/+3 weapons upgrades and Carapace upgrade, and he cannot get the Hive units like the Broodlord, like the Ultralisk. I'm actually surprised AnotherDay is not getting Carapace, or there we go, he has Carapace on the way. I guess he's really saving that crucial gas so he can get the Broodlords out. In fact, we do have one Broodlord on the way. If I could find it, there's one right there. And, oh, I don't know what that was about. Apparently AnotherDay said that roach was a traitor and he decided to kill that roach off. So I don't know what that was about, but it looks like Dimaga is going to come around the backside. This is the time he needs to make an attack happen before the Broodlords come out, because those Broodlords are going to make such a huge difference. Dimaga is fighting through a brick wall right here. 2 more Broodlords about to pop. Dimaga has no anti-air whatsoever, and he just realized right now, holy crap, I need to get Spire. So his Spire is now on the way, but it may be too late. The Broodlords here, Broodlings flying. Okay, so the Broodlings actually fly and then they come back if the opponent goes too far away. But I think Dimaga just realized he is in a crap load of trouble. He's now trying to get 21 Hydralisks so he can deal with the Broodlords. But even Hydras, unless they have creep, they have a very difficult time hitting the Brood Lords, especially if the Brood Lords stay over the Roaches and Hydras, man. That's really, really hard to deal with. And on top of that, AnotherDay has 199, whereas Dimaga has 154. This could be a pretty big upset here, considering I think Dimaga was a favorite to win this game. A long-term ZBZ, Dimaga trying to get his forces where he can mass up a big enough ball. He gets his Hydras in range of the Brood Lords. He's going to pick off all the Brood Lords. So that's a nice play right there. But I don't know at the end of the day if he can deal with the ground army. And I think that AnotherDay is going to take this game. Very solid play by both these Zerg players. But AnotherDay showing how much more important it is to get that fast tech up, get to that high tech, and get those Brood Lords out. And that was actually what sealed the game for AnotherDay. So I'm not exactly sure why that was rated the top replay of the week. That was a pretty standard ZVZ in my opinion. It was definitely a good game watching both players duke it out at the long-term late stage, which isn't very common in Zerg versus Zerg. But at the end of the day, I think the real reason why is because Dimaga might have been the favorite to win that game, and he kind of got upset by AnotherDay. But anyways, that was a good game. ZVZ, I'm going to go ahead and cast a couple more pro games here. Haven't been really playing ladder all too much, but I will be getting back to daily ladders once I'm feeling up to back up to 100% again. And I just want to thank you guys for staying tuned and continuing to watch the StarCraft 2 videos. HD, signing out.